If your agent offers you free marketing, run the other way. And now maybe it's not that extreme and you can hear them out, but there's something you need to know about an agent that's offering free marketing. So firstly, they're actually taking on the responsibility for the cost of that marketing. They now have a vested interest in getting paid for your sale. Now, you can think that's a great idea to go, oh, well, the agent's actually got some, vested interest in making sure my property sells. And that's correct, making sure the property sells, but not making sure the property sells for the most money. And if that's what you're chasing, the most money, then you got to really consider this. Because when push comes to shove a little bit further on down the line and they're negotiating with a client and they're trying to bump that buyer up for another $5,000 or $10,000, the agent doesn't actually make a huge amount of money on that extra 10 grand. And if your agent has taken on the cost of say $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 of marketing, they really want to make sure that you just sign that contract, get it sold, and can pass it on to the next. Can move on to the next sale. So when you pay for the marketing, you're ensuring that your agent is solely focused on actually selling, getting the most money, rather than just making sure you get sold. The other problem with free marketing is oftentimes the agent, because they're paying for it themselves, is going to be skimping and cutting a couple of corners here and there. And now when you're selling an asset that's $1, $2, $3, $4, $5 million, skipping on, at 1 or 2,000 to have a premier listing on the portals versus just a lower tier is probably not worth it. The other thing is they might not be doing drone shots if need a location shot, whereas, or a dusk shoot or any of those things that really going to add a little bit of value. Having a photo signboard, your property may have a beautiful backyard, but from the front of your property you can't see that, so having a signboard for everyone who's traveling past might be really important. So be cautious of free marketing. The last thing to consider is that the agent that's taking on free marketing for your property may also be taking on the cost of marketing for a whole bunch of other listings. And it can be dangerous because if they have, say, 10 properties at $5,000 worth of marketing costs that they're fronting before the properties sell, that's $50,000 worth of liabilities that they've got hanging over their head when they're going into the sale and the negotiation process. We always recommend that homeowners pay for their marketing themselves.